All right, real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and do the Kings video, which should be right during the Stain arc, because I know y'all niggas love that shit. So we're gonna pick up right after the sports festival. Oh, by the way, I did my other video with the backwards recorder. So tell me if y'all like that better. I'm just using the little stuff I have. Real quick disclosure, you know what? I probably lied in my other video by accident. I'm not gonna put a timestamp. You could just skip it if it's really that annoying. But listen, guys, I'm trying to, upgrade my quality of the content. Because me talking is awesome and stuff. But for the bigger what ifs YouTubers and stuff, they have like editing. The quality is very good because most of the time they have pictures going with what they're talking about. But for me, I am just trying to get the quality of my face better. So I'm just trying to get a computer, a basic bitch boy laptop, and I'll be chilling. I'll be good. So to y'all, if y'all may know anything about that, maybe you just might be that computer geek. If you just go with the X256 model, it'll do what you need to do for your YouTube. Because I'm not trying to do nothing super big on the YouTube, like I mean on the laptop to game or anything, just to upload my videos and maybe some small tweaks of editing, but nothing like dramatic. The camera might not even need to be super big body, just needs to have some space, a decent. Okay, thought that was my stepmom. Not really, but close enough. Anyways, so that's what I'm trying to do. So please do tell me that. And also before we get into the video, do like please, because I'm almost at that 500 mark, and that'd be crazy. Let's get on to the video, bitches. It's getting wild out there. So what happens is Deku's in first place. I'm gonna say Todoroki and Bakugo are somehow both in second place because they real niggas and somehow they tied or something. They also Momo got in third place. So this is how we're gonna do this. We're going to where did I write it? I wrote it down. I wrote it down. Hold up, guys. Give me like 2 seconds. I could pause it, but then I'd have to move my hand and no. Where the hell is it at? I know I wrote this down. All right, so we're gonna have. By the way, All Might is a Jack right now, and since Todoroki and Bakugo did so good, they're jokers right now, rank wise. So they have like these tattoos of letters and different things, but it's just like a small little tattoo. So yeah, and Momo is not the queen. She's actually going to be an ace. So she's above everyone else in ranking because most people are knights or pawns, which they get a good power boost, but it's not necessarily high. Few of them get knights. Todoroki and Bakugo, they have the jokers right there. And then Momo, she's chilling at the ace, while like only a few people are at like the jack level of All Might's a jack. I'm gonna say maybe like one more person may be a jack at the moment. Now, with those rankings out of the way, which they necessarily, like a knight can be stronger than a jack, but they just get a more power boost and more strong. So if they're on equal level, if their rank goes up, also, especially the individual is strong and they get a boost, even if it's a low boost like the knight, which you might be asking, okay, so what's the multiplier? I haven't really made the multiplier. I'm just kind of using this as scaling, and then I'm kind of changing it as I go. I'm kind of being a Toriyama, how he was with Dragon Ball Z. Now we're picking up right after the sports festival. Now we're gonna get into the name picking little episodes. Everyone has different names. I'm gonna say most of them are pretty similar to how it was in canon. Deku is known as the Great King. That's his hero name, or Hero King. I'm not saying that because someone commented on one of my videos or something. Now we're gonna get straight into the Stain arc. So how this Stain arc is gonna play out is, instead of Ida being, vengeful and stuff, that's not gonna happen. Deku doesn't. I'm not gonna say he goes to sponsorship or whatever. I mean, not sponsorship, but a place at all. He just does his own training because of one of his quirk abilities. He's able to make a kingdom, and he's able to go through past archives of king's histories and king's training and royalty training. So he's doing his own training that's so much more effective. And he even lets some people live in his palace, which it's kind of like it's in its own dimensional space. You feel what I'm saying? Where no one can get hurt and no one can get harmed. He even lets some of the elderly and some of the older people live under him as his servants. But like, it's not necessarily a bad thing to be a servant. It's more of not a slave, but a servant of willing volition, because hey, you're gonna die of cancer. If you come to my domain, you can live out the rest of your lives without feeling pain and that. So they can do still things and still do good things. Like if they wrote a book, Deku can bring that back to this plane in the what if, and give it to other people and they can publish it and that type of stuff. So they're able to still do work if they wanted to. So they're able to still help out and stuff. Another thing is that today in our happens differently, because when Deku's done training, this doesn't always happen, but it can happen. He gets transported somewhere else than where he originally made his place, which he chalked this up as the divine, which he's not religious, but I'm just trying to get a king speak. He chalks this up as to the higher ups or the divines, telling him this is where he most likely needs to be. So he's in where Stain would be attacking, while everyone is doing their proper places. Todoroki's with, his father. Bakugo's with someone else. Udaraku's with, everyone's in their places. And then he sees Stain, and him and Stain have a nice, juicy, beefy fight. I'm not really gonna go on to it because it's really not much. They fight for a little bit. He tries to use his quirk, but instead of it working, Stain bugs out and like sees Deku's, like he gets like a shitload of Deku's memories, not still in them, but it's like a rush of. It's kind of like let's say there's like, how people take coke, right? I'm not supporting drugs, but this is the best analogy I can think of on the fly. People take coke and they get that rush. So instead of the rush of the drug, he's getting a rush of Deku, if that makes any sense at all. And is my hairline receding still? It's growing back, but it's still receding. He gets like that mean rush, and like he understands Deku. They fight for a little bit longer, but Stain realizes this kid's strong. And so Deku powers up a little bit and just says, become my ace. If you prove nice to me. No, you're better than that. He looks dude dead in the eyes, with Stain's actually slightly taken back by all this intimidation. Become my Jack. Stain's, huh? What the hell is this dude talking about? Become my Jack. You'll be the second. Well, it's really not. I don't really count the queen as a ranking. I count it as more of a position, but the queen is like the highest power boost. So when he says queen or partner, I'm not necessarily saying that's gonna be where his bitch is at. So I'll put it like this, right? There's gonna be his queen, and then there's also gonna be his most loyal servant, okay? Because I don't want to say the queen or the Q, and then people be like, what you trying to say? Like, I'm not trying to make this gay or anything like that, okay? Just gotta throw that disclaimer out. Anywho, so I'm thinking he would actually make Stain his servant. So when I say servant, I mean that's second that's right there with Queen. Okay? Okay? All right, enough with that. He says, become my best servant. You'll be imbued with the power of mass proportion. Your full potential will be unleashed like you've never known before. Give up this chetry of this wanting to be cleaning this world of blah blah blah, the falseness in society, because he starts preaching his own gospel and that type of stuff, right? And so this Stain listens, Stain understands, and I say this literally stops the arc from happening, and that literally saves like a crap load of time, and Stain actually starts training, and eventually he'll join UA and stuff. And so he trains on his own now, but he goes to the King's Dome Palace or whatever, and like he's like impressed by this dude. And I'm gonna say it helps with his appearance, and he keeps training. And in Deku's domain, you're able to manifest certain things of positive benefit, but we won't get into but it helps out, all right, buckos. Well, that'll be more important later. Now, when it comes to like everyone getting tested, it won't really matter, because the only thing that really happens that's of important notes is Momo and Todoroki do better against Eraserhead. Everyone does better, obviously. Mineta does surprisingly even better than most people thought. He should be getting a rank up soon. They do a lot better because he's actually listening, and Momo has more confidence due to her power boost and due to it making her, how would you say, more mature as an individual. And that actually helps out with what she was trying to say. So instead of her being all timid, she says it. Todoroki listens to the advice, and they beat Mans a lot easier. He doesn't have any injury, so they don't do any fancy stuff with the injury play, but they basically do some fancy snooga. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, we'll get to the fight with All Might and Deku, which Bakugo doesn't even stand a chance, because he didn't stand a chance against a weaker All Might, let alone All Might at his full power plus ultra some. So we're just gonna say All Might and Deku have a good little scuffle, and when Deku's like, all right, I'm done, I'm gonna actually use my full power. When he gets into his buff state, it's technically his base, but he doesn't like to strain himself. We'll get into his training regime later, but he doesn't like to strain himself, so he doesn't always exert that much power. Plus, if he's walking around with that, it's almost like Frieza with a reduced form, okay? Because if he walked around with that much power, if he walked by normal people, they would literally black out because of his intense pressure, okay? So with that being said, Mans literally is just kind of like reduced his form, which is a fairly thin muscle built, but just not swole. But him fighting All Might and stuff, they're throwing pretty good blows. All Might's actually kicking instead of being a retard and punching all the time. And kicking, throwing elbows. He's actually knowing how to fight a little bit because he went to the palace and did some training there. It's a fairly decent fight until Deku actually tries and puts on his royalty gloves or royalty mittens, and I call it the 8 weapons because he has some on his shins. It's basically like Muay Thai, but for those that don't know, his fists, elbows, his knees, and yeah. So they're doing that or whatever. Deku pretty much beats him. Not necessarily easily, but it's not really that hard. Then we're gonna go straight to when the villain tries to talk to Deku, which he doesn't even try that because man's just terrified of Deku. So yeah. I'm gonna stop right here. Like, I only got like a little bit more, because like most of these what ifs are kind of like pretty straight and narrow. It's a pretty good story, but it doesn't last that long. It's like an orgasm for guys. You only get like a few glory seconds, and after that, it's just straight downhill. So yeah, like, sub, comment down, banana pudding. It helps with the algorithm. That's solely the reason why. No, try to loophole around it. That's literally why. I'm almost at 500. But do tell me if you like this camera angle better, or you like it when I'm like, oh, you can't see me because I can't switch it around. But catch y'all later.